Hi everyone, I'm Miss Joyce and welcome to the Criminology Talk. So I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about sixth form and what to expect on the criminology course should you choose to study here with us at Elaine's. Now at Elaine's, we believe success is built on well-planned, organised and interesting teaching. We ensure that we offer support to students that builds on their strengths but also guides those that need further support. So, revision sessions, coursework sessions, things like that. We ensure that positive relationships with students are built, and we share the same objectives of wanting success for you as individuals. We believe that it's important to have well-developed links with parents and to support progression in general, and also keep parents well informed. It's also important to remember that in a school sixth form, you are 1 in 200 instead of 1 in thousands. So you'll know your teachers quite well, they will get to know you well. It will build on your success and your development through the course. Now, what is criminology in general? So the definition of criminology is the scientific approach to studying criminal behaviour. So the course itself will include examining things like who actually commits a crime, the different types of crime that exists, why these people commit crimes, what the impact of crime is and how to prevent it. You will be able to use theories of criminality to analyse criminal situations and also to make recommendations for policy. So you'll do things like explore different campaigns, create your own, look at situations of crime and analyse them based on what you have learned. So what kind of person actually studies criminology? So someone who's interested in the world around them. If you ask questions on why things are the way they are, criminology could be something for you. You must be open to different ideas and you've got to enjoy debating them as well. No experience is actually necessary for this course. Sixth form entry requirements are obviously, they need to be met, but you don't need to have any previous experience or knowledge around criminology to study it. Essay writing is definitely going to be involved, but it is something that we can actually work on together as a group and in one-to-one formats as well. What can you actually gain from criminology? So there are so many different skills that you could gain from studying this course with us. So knowledge and understanding of a range of different theories and research. Analysis skills, so understanding the importance of why things occur and the reasons why. Application skills, so using the ideas and the theories you have learned to link to real life examples and things that you are actually faced with in society. Evaluation skills is definitely a big one. So you'll look at different perspectives on certain issues around crime and compare them and contrast them. Overall, the ability to appreciate different views and opinions in the world around you as well. It's definitely something that you will learn to build on. But why criminology specifically? It's definitely an interesting and enjoyable subject. You learn a lot about the world you live in. You can apply everything that you've learned through this course to the world around you. You will develop an understanding of why crimes happen, what causes these crimes, look at different statistics around criminal behaviour, look at the different campaigns, why they exist, how to prevent crime. You'll also work in a supportive environment, so you'll develop as a whole person. This will contribute to your development in your own character. It is a new course, it's a fairly new course. It is something different than from what you've studied before. It could be, completely new to you, and that's always exciting. It is an applied general subject, so the assessments reflect that. It is not just lessons and an exam at the end. There are different assessment styles used, and that's always useful for people who aren't the biggest fan of just sitting exams. There are coursework units in this course as well, so that's something to consider. It also links alongside social science really, really well. So if you're interested also in things like sociology, psychology, maybe even other social science subjects like health and social care, they link together really well. For example, in criminology, we look at the psychological and sociological perspectives of crime. So statistics of crime within a certain society, different explanations of that, understanding whether someone could be born a criminal or if it could be their environment, and they link together really, really well. So if you're interested in sociology and psychology or some of the social sciences and you're unsure what third option to perhaps take, criminology would definitely be useful and an interesting subject to go well alongside the other social sciences. In terms of progression opportunities for criminology, students can go on to university to study, obviously, criminology or related disciplines. So any of the following are definitely relevant. If you want to study any of these, criminology is definitely going to support your application. So things in social work, sociology, political science, social policies, law, things like that. You'll also have a very good preparation for other higher education routes as well. So if you want to go into teaching, for example, working with other people, anything around law, criminology is definitely useful for you. It also provides transferable skills for employment, so you'll understand people skills, building your own character, learning how to work with others, understanding other people around you and the world around you and what goes on in it. Criminology definitely contributes to being able to build those transferable skills. So in terms of the specification for criminology, definitely attracts UCAS points. So if you're wanting to go to university, it's definitely contributing to that in a positive way. The grading system is from A star to E. There's 4 units altogether. 2 of those are internally assessed, which are the coursework units, which I'll explain in a little bit, and 2 are externally assessed, which are exams. It's available in the form of a certificate and a diploma, and you'll come out year 13 at the end with the diploma. So in terms of the content that you'll study through year 12 and year 13, the structure is, as you can see on the screen there, so there are 4 units altogether. You must complete all of them to achieve that diploma. So in year 1, in year 12, you will cover unit 1 and 2. So you'll look at the changing awareness of crime, which is where you create your campaign, and also then look at the theories of crime. So understand why people commit a crime, what impacts their behaviour to perhaps lead to criminal behaviour. And then in year 13, we look at what happens from the scene of the crime right up to sentencing and afterwards. And that goes for Unit 3 and 4 combined. So in Unit 3, we look at what happens from the crime scene to the courtroom, and Unit 4, you look at what happens from the courtroom onwards, essentially. We look at why people commit crime first of all, and what the causes of crime are and the different campaigns. And then in year 13, we analyse that and apply that to what we are covering in year 13. So what happens from the crime scene afterwards. So a little bit more on year 12. So there are 2 units. One of them is a coursework-based unit and another one is the exam. So changing awareness of crime, you follow the content of the spec. It's an 8-hour controlled assessment. So you'll do that in school. It is split over a number of days. It's not 8 hours in its entirety in one go. But it's a total of 8 hours of assessment time, and you apply your knowledge from your coursework, which you take in with you, to the scenario-based questions that you are given in the assessment. And then Unit 2 is the exam, so it's 1 hour and a half, and it's all questions based on the theories of crime. So, as I said, an 8-hour assessment for Unit 1. The purpose of the unit is actually to plan a campaign for change that's relevant to crime. So knife crime, for example, you would create your own campaign to assess the impacts of it, why we need to be more aware of it, and what we can do to prevent that crime from happening. The focus of the unit itself is on crime that goes unreported. So we want to look at the consequences of why crimes are not reported, what happens in those circumstances, how we can prevent that, and you create your own campaign to tackle that issue. Okay. And then Unit 2 is still in year 12. You've got the hour and a half assessment. This unit focuses on why people actually commit a crime. So you look at it from a number of perspectives: a biological view, a psychological view, a sociological view, a cognitive view. We assess those theories, we evaluate those theories, compare them with each other, we apply them to scenarios, and use these theories to explain criminal behaviour. And we assess case studies as well. We look at loads of different case studies, real life, and apply our learning to explain why that criminal behaviour happened. You also can draw on what you've learned from Unit 1 to support your answers. So you'll learn about the different types of crime in Unit 1, for example, but you'd be able to explain why those crimes happened in Unit 2. So moving on to Year 13, so Unit 3, crime scene to courtroom. So again, another 8-hour assessment, again, accumulated hours, not just one single 8-hour assessment. Again, you'll be able to take your notes into the assessment itself, so you'll build your coursework and take that in with you to support you with answering the questions. And once again, it would be a scenario-based assessment, so you'll be given a scenario and use the information you have from your notes to help you answer those questions. So the crime scene to courtroom is all about exactly that. What happens from the scene of a crime? Who gets there first? How is evidence collected? What evidence is admissible and what isn't? The different types of evidence that exist. What happens in the courtroom itself? Who can classify as a witness? What a jury does, and things like that. And then Unit 4, again, another 1.5 hour exam, all covering what happens from that courtroom onwards. So the focus of Unit 3 is the criminal justice system itself. So from the identification of the crime to all the way through to the verdict itself. And then Unit 4, explaining the different theories and processes of bringing the actual accused to court. We look at how effective social control is, the different kinds of social control. You, again, draw on your information from all of the units to support you here. If you were to take the course with us, we do give out a bridging project to be completed over the summer. So usually we do focus this on Unit 2 because it is quite large. But it prepares you for both units very, very well. So you will be asked to look into the different types of crime, what crime is, what criminal behaviour is, what deviant behaviour is, the differences between the two, which is why you can see there that we would ask you to explore norms, values, moral codes, what deviance is, the acts that could be both criminal and deviant. This will support you with Unit 1 and Unit 2. So it's a very good transition to work through over the summer. The kind of questions we explore there in criminology, what kind of things would you be expected to be able to answer by the end of this course? So what is crime and deviance? What is the difference between the two? Can you identify a criminal from looking at them? Can someone actually be born a criminal? What do you think? We'd be able to answer that question. What is the process of a criminal investigation? So what happens from start to finish? How is evidence actually processed? What do we do with it? How do we gather it? Where does it go? What's done with this evidence to analyse it? How is it used in court? Things like that. Why do some crimes go unreported, and what can we actually do about this problem? How can campaigns raise awareness for unreported crimes? And what does social control mean? What do social control methods mean? How are they used? What are they? And compare them. So if you did have any questions about the course, myself and Miss Ashley are the current teachers of criminology. So if you've got any questions whatsoever, we have taught both Year 12 and Year 13. So we are experienced with both, so we'd be able to answer any questions you may have. My email is there on the screen, and so is Miss Ashley's. If you had any questions whatsoever, please, by all means, get in touch. Hope that was useful. Anything that I can do, please, by all means, send an email. Thank you very much.